Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books and it is time for Spookathon again. I am so excited. I was just sitting at the desk. I had some ideas of what I wanted to read for Spookathon this year, but I just sat down and I finalized my TBR and I'm gonna share it with you guys. And I'm really excited about my TBR for Spookathon this year. Now, there are 5 challenges. It starts on the 14th, which is Monday, so that's midnight on Monday, the witching hour. I think the witching hour is 2 a.m. actually, but it starts at midnight on the 14th and it goes to the 20th, which is next weekend. You know, right in time to read all of the great Halloween books. If you don't know anything about Spookathon, it originally started to be a readathon about thrillers, which I love. I read a lot of thrillers in my free time, but also for the channel. And if you don't know what you don't know is a lot, I also have a book club called Peter's Book Club, which is co-hosted and run with my dear friend Mel, and it is a true crime book club. So y'all know I'm into the thrillers, the true crime, all of that kind of stuff. So I have always participated in Spookathon. I don't always do very well. And I was gonna only pick like 2 books this year. And I thought, you know what, go all in, pick 5 and see how you do. And I'm gonna have 3 of them be audiobooks because you know I love the audiobooks. So let's get into what I picked for Spookathon this year. I am so excited. And several of my books are actually Halloween themed. So it's just getting me really excited about the Halloween. I love Halloween, it's my favorite holiday. Okay, so the first book that you have to read is a thriller. And now, bear with me, I'm gonna be going into Goodreads and reading these to you guys. I've kind of mentioned some of them. Goodreads is always so weird to me. From me on Goodreads, by the way, is always so weird to me when you're trying to go in here and find a book. So the first book that I am going to be reading, here I will take a screenshot of the cover and send it up there. So here it is. And that is The Chain by Adrienne McKenty. I actually just read this a couple days ago, I think, on my to be read for October. You just dropped off your child at the bus stop. A panicked stranger calls your phone. Your child has been kidnapped, and the stranger explains that their child has also been kidnapped by a completely different stranger. The only way to get your child back is to kidnap another child within 24 hours. Your child will be released only when the next victim's parents kidnap yet another child, and most importantly, the stranger explains, if you don't kidnap a child, if the next parents don't kidnap a child, your child will be murdered. You are now part of the chain. I have had one really close friend of mine recommend this to me, and a lot of people tell me that this is a great read, a great thriller. So I'm really excited about that. That is my thriller that I'm reading for Spookathon. Okay, then the next one is to read a book with red on the cover. This book was actually part of my Spookathon TBR for last year, and I didn't get to it. I did horrible at Spookathon last year, and I was hosting it too. I was one of the hosts last year. And that is Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel. And it is from Disney Books, and it says Witch Please. Last year it was exclusively at Target, but I just saw it. Where else did I see it? I think I saw it at Meijer or at Walmart. So it's not just exclusively there anymore, it's at all of these different places. Shortly, I have a guest that would like to come and join us today. He said, hello, I am PP the Flying Chihuahua. Do you love Halloween? He said, I love Halloween so much. What are you gonna go as this year on Halloween? He goes, I don't know, maybe a hot dog. We have so many costumes for the dogs. I'm sure that's hard for you guys to believe. Okay. Shortly after moving from California to Salem, Massachusetts, shortly after moving from okay. Pull it in! Shortly after moving from California to Salem, Massachusetts, Max Dennison finds himself in hot water when he accidentally releases a coven of witches. The Sanderson sisters. Does this sound familiar? Oh, because you saw the movie. Okay. From the afterlife. He releases the Sanderson sisters from the afterlife. Max, his sister, and his new friends, human and otherwise, must find a way to stop the witches from carrying out their evil plan and remaining on Earth to torment Salem for all eternity. 25 years later, Max and Allison's 17-year-old daughter, Poppy, finds herself face-to-face with the Sanderson sisters and all their sinister glory. When Halloween celebrations don't quite go as planned, it's a race against time as Poppy and her friends fight to save her family and all of Salem from the witch's latest vile scheme. So, yeah, there it is. You know, I'm sitting here and as I'm reading this, y'all know I have a drama channel too, right? I'm thinking of all of the conspiracies of the world, and I'm thinking, you know, they've been talking about a sequel coming out about this movie forever, and they probably just decided, okay, screw it, we're not gonna wait anymore, let's just put out a book. That's probably what they did. So that is my book with red on the cover. As you can see, they have their lipstick is red right there. So, yeah. And exclusive content at Target is read. There you go. Okay. The next book that I am reading is a book with a spooky word in the title, and that is, I am reading, this is another audiobook that I'll be reading, and that is Kill Creek. Hold on just a second. So many people reading one of the books on my thing here that I've already actually started. And I finished last night My Friend Anna, because we're having the live stream for the book club. We're reading about My Friend Anna. Okay, this book drove me crazy in so many millions of ways. But anyway, the live stream for the book club is this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going over the September book. Okay, Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. Here is, let me put this up. I always say I'm going to put like the, what do you call it, the cover, and then I forget to. This is the cover for Kill Creek. At the end of a dark prairie road, nearly forgotten in the Kansas countryside, excuse me, lies the Finch house. I just read this in like my last video. Oh shoot, what did I do? Okay. For years, it is perched empty, abandoned, and overgrown, but soon the door will be open for the first time in many decades. But something waits lurking in the shadows, anxious to meet its new guests. When best-selling horror author Sam McGarver is invited to spend Halloween night, now got 2 Halloween books, okay, in one of the country's most infamous haunted houses, he reluctantly agrees. At least he won't be alone. Joining him are 3 other masters of the macabre, writers who have helped shape modern horror. But what begins, I have such a hard time with that word, you guys. But what begins as a simple publicity stunt soon becomes a fight for survival. The entity they have awakened will follow them, torment them, threatening to make them part of the bloody legacy of Kill Creek. Sounds so good. I've had a couple people recommend that to me too, so I'm really excited about that. Okay. And then the next book that I am reading, I actually started last night on Audible. I've been waiting to start this book, and hold on a second, let me get to it. Here it is, somebody's reading it right now. I will tell you who. Jess is on page 225 of 368. Now entering Adamsville, here it is right here, and it is by Francesca Zappia. Francesca Zappia wrote Eliza and Her Monsters and Made You Up. She's one of my all-time favorite authors, and she also resides here in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I am from. So I am so excited to read this book. Here, let me read it to you. Zora Novak has been framed. When someone burns down the home of the school janitor and he dies in the blaze, everyone in Adamsville, Indiana points a finger at Zora. Never mind that Zora has been on the straight and narrow since her father was thrown in jail. With everyone looking for evidence against her, her only choice is to uncover the identity of the real killer. There's one big problem. Zora has no leads. No one does. Adamsville has a history of tragedy, and 30 years ago, a similar string of fires left several townspeople dead. The arsonist was never caught. Now, Zora must team up with her cousin Artemis, an annoying self-proclaimed Adamsville historian, to clear her name. But with the popular ghost-hunting television show riling up the townspeople, almost no support for her family and friends, and rumors spinning out of control, things aren't looking good. Zora will have to read between the lines of Adamsville ghost stories before she becomes one herself. Now, let me tell you what is interesting. I'm only about 45 minutes into this book. I started listening to it last night. It is fantastic. I love it. If you love Francesca Zappia, you will really, really like it. It's in her same style of writing, and the characters are very similar to previous characters like Eliza. But the thing is this, okay? And I think I'm gonna love this, but you just need to know this before you go into it, or maybe you don't. I don't know, I didn't. There's a paranormal aspect to it, and I had no idea. I honestly, when I started it, I thought, okay, this is going to be very much like, what's the Maureen Johnson book, Truly Devious, that I loved. I thought it was going to be very similar to that, but there's a highly paranormal aspect to it. I will just leave it there, so you guys, if you want to read it, you can. But if you, I'm saying that also because Francesca Zappia is not somebody that writes paranormal stuff, and I think that, maybe not paranormal is the word I'm looking for, but you know, fantasy creatures and things like that. I think that if people knew that, I think this book would be, I think, more highly read. I mean, it already is getting a lot of attention. But I think that if more people knew that, I think they would be drawn to this book, because there's so many people that love to read, you know, young adult that has, like, world building and things like that. So you should definitely check it out if you like that. Okay, and then the last book that I am reading is something that I normally wouldn't read, and that is a graphic novel. I was at the Meijer the other night, which if you've never been to a Meijer before, it's like Target, it's like Walmart, but anyway, it's my favorite of all those big like stores like that. I have been waiting for this book to come out. I do believe this book just came out this October. I could be wrong. I actually looked, well here, I can look at Goodreads and see when it came out, but I do believe that it came out, here it is. I'm keeping it a secret for a second. I want to see what the release date was on this, because I think it came out just now. August 27, 2019. So I'm very, very excited to share with you guys. I could not believe I saw this at Meijer. I was like completely thrown out. Oh, that's where I saw the other book, was at Hocus Pocus, was at Meijer. And that is Rainbow Rowell's Pumpkinheads. You guys, I'm so excited to read this. And it's a graphic novel, and Faith Erin Hicks does I think all the pictures for it. She and here is a writer and artist, and it shows the two of them on the back in there. You guys, look at this. This reminds me of like the Richard Scarry days. Do you remember the books when you were a kid and they would like, okay. So, Deja and Josiah are seasonal best friends. Every autumn, all through high school, they've worked together at the world's best pumpkin patch. They say goodbye every Halloween, and they're reunited every September 1st. This is like the Rainbow Rowell that I love so much. She's one of my all-time favorite authors. But this Halloween is different. Josie and Deja are finally seniors. It's their last season at the patch, their last shift together, their last goodbye. Josie's ready to spend the whole night feeling melancholy about it. He's a melancholy type, but Deja has a plan. What if, instead of moping and instead of the usual, slinging lima beans down at the Succotash hut, they went out with a bang? They could see all the sights, taste all the snacks. Maybe Josie could even talk to that cute girl he's been mooning over for 3 years. What if their last shift was an adventure? Beloved writer, I'm getting chills just reading this. Beloved writer Rainbow Rowell and Eisner Award-winning artist Faith Erin Hicks have teamed up to create the tender and hilarious story about two irresistible teens discovering what it means to leave behind a place and a person with no regrets. I'm so excited to read this, you guys. It kind of reminds me of, what's the book? Okay, so last night, I don't think that was by Rainbow Rowell though, because the Stephanie Perkins anthology, I really, really liked the first one. I didn't love the second one so much, which was called My True Love Gave to Me. Or was that the first one? I don't know. The second one was the summer one. And in the summer one, the anthology, there was a story in there about a movie theater, and it was like the last night that they were closing it down. Did you guys ever, okay, it was very endearing. It was like that. Rainbow Rowell also wrote a short story. I can't remember what it's called. It's not listed in here, but I have it over there. And it was just released, and it was like in a little book, and it's pink on the cover. And it's about this girl that goes to, she and like a bunch of other people sleep outside to get tickets for the next Star Wars show. And it's super endearing like that too. If you've never read Rainbow Rowell before, I would highly suggest reading her book. She's a fantastic author, just really sentimental and emotional, and I love reading everything that she wrote. I think she wrote in those two anthologies, the one about the guy and the girl that meet at the Christmas tree lot, and then I think it starts in one book and it ends in the other book. So I love her so much, but and the pictures are fantastic in here. So all right, you guys, are you participating in Spookathon? You better be. You better be, okay? Less and less people are doing readathons anymore. I don't know why. It makes me kind of sad. But anyway, let me know what you think about those books. If you've read any of them, don't give them away, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.